Our next recipient of the evening is unique. It's really actually a double recipient because it's a duo. Bethy Leonardi and Sara Staley are being represented jointly tonight for their work on behalf of LGBTQ issues in school classrooms. Bethy Leonardi and Sara Staley are redefining how students and teachers learn about gender and sexual diversity in K-12 classrooms. The pair, who are research associates and instructors in CU's School of Education, founded the Queer Endeavor, an initiative that provides educators with guidance, vocabulary, and tools to create school cultures that are safe, supportive, and accepting of LGBTQ youth. They have worked with more than 5,000 educators and school leaders nationwide, including all the principals in the Boulder Valley, Adams 12, and St. Vrain Valley school districts. They created a 20-minute film called Breaking the Silence, honoring the voices of LGBTQ youth and allies in supporting our teachers about gender and sexual diversity in schools. Sara and Bethy's social justice commitments, leadership, and unwavering support for LGBTQ students is helping educators across the country cultivate the safe and inclusive spaces that all children deserve. For their pioneering work, the Alumni Association is thrilled to grant both Bethy and Sara the Kalpana Chawla Recent Graduate Award.
Some people think that elementary school is too early to know yourself to the core. I'm not sure I agree with them. I knew I was gay in 3rd grade, though I didn't necessarily have words to understand what to call it. We certainly didn't talk about gay people in school, which made knowing myself and who I might become difficult. It wasn't actually until graduate school here at CU Boulder, I was pretty old by then, that my identity as a queer person was affirmed in Michelle Moses' gender and education class. When you grow up in silence, you don't expect sound, but when you finally have a chance to listen to sounds that make sense to you, you realize how important those sounds are.
As co-directors of a queer endeavor, Bethy and I partner with districts and school communities to break the overwhelming silence that, as Bethy described, has surrounded LGBTQ topics and identities in K-12 schools and higher education. Through our work, we've learned that there are some pretty outstanding educators in our community who want to do right by kids. They're hungry to learn how to break the silence in their classrooms and to help young people like Bethy see themselves and their families affirmed in the curriculum. We feel grateful every day for the incredible platform that CU has given us to support these educators in doing this important work. We received our PhDs from CU in 2014, and it was then that A Queer Endeavor was born. From the start, A Queer Endeavor has been a community project, beginning in the community of our own School of Education. Our dean at the time, Lori Shepard, believed in us, but she also believed in the work that we as a School of Education needed to do in order to support our candidates, our teacher candidates, to understand the complex lived realities of queer students in schools. We are grateful for our School of Education colleagues. The faculty were willing to reflect on the silence that surrounded gender and sexual diversity in our own education programs and to change our practices to expand our commitments to equity and justice. We are also grateful for the tremendous support of our current dean, Kathy Schultz, and her commitment to nurturing the growth of our initiative.
We were asked to share the role that CU has played in our lives. CU and the School of Education especially have been integral in both our personal and professional lives. But CU has also played a key role in the lives of many educators and students in our community. Over the past few years, we've had the privilege of working with over 5,000 educators. In a climate where protections for transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming people are under attack, educators can serve as lighthouses for these students and families, and they are rising up to meet that demand, breaking the silence in their schools and classrooms. We are honored and humbled to do the work that we do, and the biggest gift of all is that we get to do it as part of CU and part of our School of Education, that we're still here. We appreciate this award so much, and especially to Hannah Fletcher, who nominated us for this award. And we appreciate all of the people who make our work possible. Thank you.